RLSD is getting bigger all over the world. The world and Japan are both going through big changes at the moment. We'll talk about what they are and what they might mean for people who own XRP. After that, we'll talk about Ripple. I discovered many new things. A lot is going on here. What does an SRP have to do with BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Citi, JP Morgan, and Franklin Templeton? There is no doubt about anything. We're going to talk about this truth. A lot of new people have been using XRP lately. We'll also look at what kind of market cap increase we saw during the pump in the past few weeks. Let's start this off. Ripple and the Japanese bank SBI have agreed to work together to issue the RLSD state-of-the-art of first quarter of 2026. SBI VC Trade will be in charge of the partnership. This is coming up soon. Pay attention to this. Japan is having a tough time right now. Japan is this person then. Who is it that said Japan is a financial time bomb? The most debt in the world. It's 160% of GDP is in this country. The Bank of Japan keeps making money. So Japan's bond market has grown to 10 trillion yen, 500,000 people every year, and 94% of its energy comes from other countries. SBI now adds RLSD to the mix. Don't forget that Japan is going to get a digital EL. So you start to wonder if that has something to do with the XRP blockchain. Don't forget SBI. He is in charge of SBI and has a lot of power in Japan. A lot of people respect and listen to him. He's one of Japan's best bankers. Let's start right away. Chad Steinreber says that XRP will power RLSD, which will then become the new world reserve currency. The tweet came from Monica Long. RUSD in Japan, thanks a lot. This is the tweet they were talking about. Along with the SBVC head, the market for 300 billion stable coins is about to hit $1 trillion sign. Japan will soon have RLUSD. That's why I want to know what this meant for Ripple and payers in Japan. Japan will get RLUSD under new rules for strong, safe coins. Regulatory bodies will be able to rest easy, and institutions will trust the company. Japan has some of the world's most forward-thinking rules on stable coins, and the country accepts Ripple standard for compliance. Work in a prison. The RLUSD is fully backed by government shares, savings accounts in US dollars, and you already know this. People talk about the 300 billion. That's already been read. Other banks and governments might want to follow this lead. This was very important for me to know. Japan is another big spot where people trade money. You can also find markets in the UK, Europe, and other places around the world. When will they start making changes to the XRP ledger? You start to think about when this will happen. We talked about the ripple effect around the world, Japan's clear rules, and the more people want safe coins that follow the rules. This could show other countries how to use technology. Japan's choice to allow steady coins as investments could prompt Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and some parts of Europe to follow suit. Don't forget that Singapore has been using the XRP MEF to move forward with the Singaporean dollar. Growth in the banking business. Community banks can now use safe coins like RLSD thanks to a new rule from the U.S. Office of the Controller of Currency. Community banks are the ones in question. These are smaller offices of the big banks that we all know and trust. You know the people usually do what's right, right? The SWIFT method is used by all of these small to medium-sized banks and credit unions to send money around the world. Those banks don't have to give to the big banks or big people. What was going through my mind? The big banks, right? Yes, banks like Chase, Citi, and Goldman Sachs can use Ripple, Circle, Hadir to do this on their own. Let's talk about what makes us better than USDC and Tether. This sounds great to me. RLSD isn't the same as other steady coins like because it's backup custody and its plan is based on following the rules. Do not forget that Tether is well known for being used in some shady crypto areas. Right, institutions and banks are the only ones who should use RUSD. You work at a bank, would you pick the safe coin whose chip just blew and made the stable coin less valuable? They can't do a check, so you can't be sure if they have backups or stocks. Tether must be pretty sure of itself, right? Show us the money, right? Says everyone who doesn't like them. Show us the audit from one of the big four. Do you know how much that kind of audit costs? 5 to 10 million. You might believe that Tether has the money. What did they make? About 10,000 on a year ago. Something very strange. I don't understand why they said they couldn't spend $5 to $1 million on Bitcoin mining or other things that cost that much. That doesn't seem right. Comment below and tell me what you think. But this is good for Ripple too. Also, dude, I'm really happy. This is what Brad Garlinghouse thinks will happen. This was a good post from him. We had some big news this week when we said that Ripple would handle $30 billion in payments in both cash and coins. We will bring ODL to Africa with MFS Africa. This is our 6th area. I asked, why is this important? Along with MFS Africa, Ripple is bringing on demand funding Africa. This means that Ripple is reaching more people around the world and making good progress and breaking into markets on all 6 continents. It says that $30 billion will come from Ripple. It talks about Africa's new payments market, which is a good sign of growth. There are a lot of people in Africa who don't have bank accounts, but their money is quickly moving online. Ripple will be able to handle large amounts of transactions if it uses its technologies. Remember that some Africans may want to save US dollars, right? Getting US dollars was always the most important thing, even if not everyone wanted them. It was always that was hard because you had to pay a lot of money to go to one of these places and swap money. People all over the world can save dollars thanks to the growth of safe coins. If they want to, they can save British pounds. That means they can say they're just telling you something you already know, right? This is the build, and this is our RLUSD, which ties everything together. You start to wonder if these bigger companies want to work with an American coin company that is safe right now. That's the truth. One or the other. It looks like Circle or Ripple will win. There's no doubt that PayPal and a few of these others have met the needs of big banks. They understand what's going on. That's why I added it. I want you to fully understand how difficult this is. Some of you may be hearing this for the first time. Let's go over this one more time to make sure you get it. Then you can master it like the sensei does. I'm not sure what we're going to do today. Tokenizing real world things is what Ono does. Finance are the best. I don't think I've ever talked about being a third party. I'm sorry, that was weird. Okay? What Ono Finance does best is turn real world assets into tokens. Its main products are tokenized US bonds, OSG, which began as wrappers from BlackRock X iShares ETF and now puts a lot of money in RockX tokenized build fund. Some of O's ecosystem's most important partners are BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Career Trust, Clear State, and Navy Consulting. Some of the team's most important players have worked with names like Goldman Sachs and Bridgewater. This is how XRPPL works with it. It was added to the XRP ledger by Ripple in June 2025. Ono's finance tokenized US notes. Institutional users could now use Ripple's RLOSD stablecoin to create and redeem OSG. With this start, XRPL will be the place where institutional grade tokenized assets are traded, and the goal is for this market to hit 19 trillion by 2033. The value of bonds of the world is $140 trillion. It costs 29. The US Treasury bonds we're talking about here cost 29 each, $6 or $40,000 on the world market. You should know that these spots are being moved to Bitcoin. We will soon have 29 trillion in cash. That would be helpful if we could figure out how to lock up RLSD or XRP. At the moment, they do this a lot with RUS. Let's say you want to spend about 100,000 on a government bond. When you get RLSD, it's worth around 100,000 USD. You promise that, and then you get your 4% or whatever number they give you, okay? It would be good if they could keep XRP safe. The amount that's out there is being lowered. But for now, RLSD is the best money. I'd like to say what I think about that. A lot of well-known people in Wall Street are named as players. Some of the biggest banks are BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Franklin Templeton.